Hello everyone, this is me, John Aldridge, with the Aldo Meets Podcast. I'd just like to thank all our sponsors there's quite a lot, you have to bear with me. Bellam and Johnson, Olympic Scaffold and Tower Hill, Onyx Real Estate, Kingdom Plumbing, Northwest Fencing, Liverpool Connect, Airport Transfers, New RW Invest and Taskers, Budweiser Brewery, and the Dortmunder Union Brewery. Thank you very, very much indeed. And obviously the charities are, as always, placed, and the Owen McVeigh Foundation. So thanks on behalf of ourselves. Hey everyone, here we are again. John Aldridge with the Aldo Podcast in conjunction with the Hotel Anfield, episode 6 already, which we've had some illustrious Liverpool players from the past in particular with us. And we have another one today, none other than Karl Heinz Riedle. Great to see you, pal.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, German superstar as he is. Won the lot. How's things, mate? All right?
Brilliant so far.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to come over all the time.
Dapper there, by the way. You're looking younger now than when you used to play.
Exactly. No, I try my best.
I tell you what. What's the recipe?
Recipe is a lot of skiing, a lot of paddle tennis.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a bit of golf.
A little bit of golf, yeah.
And less beers in the pub, John.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them you have to take.
No, but we're delighted to be in the company of yourself. And also with James Pearce, Schwarzenegger, is it? Schwarzenhausen.
Let's stick with that.
Yeah,
That fits,
Peter. I just call him Peter. Yes, and obviously we have got Sky Sports Germany with us. That's Tony. Tomic, love to meet Tony. Great to see you again. We've met before.
Yeah.
And I think first of all, we just had to touch on something what's still with us. When it was like a passing on of one of your family a few days ago. I was in Portugal, and I got the news of Jurgen, leaving. And I think that's the first thing we had to really talk about amongst ourselves and counsel ourselves, because I still can't take it in. Yeah, I was like, when Bill Shankly resigned, I was about 14, 15. And I remember hearing it was in May time. And as a young lad, I couldn't take it in. It was honestly really difficult for me and every Liverpool fan, because he was just so special. And it tells you that how special Jurgen is now to be compared to Bill Shankly, because what he's done, I'm eternally grateful. With the years, 8 years now, and where he's took us and what he's done for us, he's absolutely, words fail me, a god, iconic, whatever. But, I'll touch with yourself first. Where was you when you heard of the news?
Actually, like you, I was surprised as well. It's, as you said it before, he is an absolute legend. When he signed here 8 years ago, I remember very good this time. He had a fantastic time with Borussia Dortmund. And then afterwards he came here, and my best friend here from the world, he asked me, who is this guy? Do you think he can do something here? I said, listen, he's the absolutely top fitting guy for this club. There will be a big success for him and for Liverpool. And after 8 years, we know what's happened. It's sad, but you have to respect him. It's his decision. I think all the fans, they will be really not disappointed, but really sad that he will finish at the end of the season. But it's a long way to go.
Yeah.
They can win a lot of trophies now. So I think everybody has to put everything in to give him the best adios what he can have.
Was it like the news, obviously, when it hit here, obviously Liverpool and Sky News and, BBC ITV and all that, it was main nuts. What was it like in Germany? Was it like huge in the papers, huge in the news? Yeah, was it?
Definitely. I was at a bank. I had a date at a bank last Friday, and then suddenly my phone started to ring, and all the messages came in. And I looked at it and I couldn't believe it. Went out of the bank. Then Sky Sports rang me. Can you be live? Then I went out. So 5 minutes later, I was live on the show, the Sky Sports News. What do I think about that? And it was the whole Friday was just all about the news about Jurgen.
I mean, Jurgen is he's the same star like he's in England here. They love him all over the places in Germany. He had so many, I mean, when he coached Mainz, he was already a legend. Then the whole thing with Borussia Dortmund, everybody was hoping that he can take one day over the national team, but then he made the decision for Liverpool. So clearly that everybody was quite shocked in Germany as well.
But it's I know, like, I only managed for 5 years. Nothing like Liverpool, obviously, with Tranmere. And I can tell you, I can completely understand, because it is 24/7. It's you take it home with you, you neglect your family. The only thing that kept me sane, when I got home, I made sure that I'd done the tea. So my wife, I'll do this, I'll cook. Because for that half an hour or an hour, I just concentrated on cooking, and it took my mind away. But then you go to bed and you can't sleep, and you've got notepads when you wake up to write things on notepads, and it's just intense. And that's at a small level within the low league below, to do what he's done, and in the manner what he's done, and the fact that last year we went the way we did, and he's got us back. How he's got us back so quick is just incredible. With being astute, very knowledgeable man, as we all know, but to do it like the midfield just basically just gone in, do this, do that, little twink with Trent in there, and all of a sudden we're back where we were a couple of years ago, possibly going for 4 cups. Well, we are going for 4 cups. Quadruple, call it what they want. You know, words fail me. He's right up there with Bushank, in my opinion.
Yeah, Carl, do you think it is just the demands of the job have taken their toll? He said he hasn't got the energy to go on beyond May. Do you think it is just the intensity of doing it for nearly a decade? I
mean, Johnny said it. If you coach like Jurgen Klopp, it is very intense. I mean, 7 years Dortmund, then 8 years here. So it takes you out a lot of energy. And I think he's maybe on a point. He realized, he brought back, last year wasn't the best season. And now bringing in all these fucking talents, what do you have in the academies? They're all very young players. So I think even if he is leaving now, he left a really, really good team for the future here. And hopefully they can replace him with a really good coach. They can go the same way like Jurgen did it for the last 8 years.
Yeah. What kind of impact do you think it'll have on the players? Because I guess it could go one or two ways. It could be a distraction for now to the end of the season.
We saw it yesterday. But I think the impact will be good. Yeah. I think every of these young players and the more mature players, they want to win title now, even for him. I think it was maybe also the right decision to say it now, because he said it in November maybe to the board, and when it come out on a different way would be not the best way. So I think his decision to make it public was quite the right time, and hopefully it gives the team another lift again.
See, I think the team always replicates the manager on the pitch, and when you watch Jurgen's team, gegenpressing, call it one, they go through a brick wall for him. Yeah. So what Carl's saying, quite right, is the fact that Jurgen might have done it intentionally to try and finish on such a high, because that'll give him extra impetus. A little bit more used to that. It's like going down to 10 men sometimes. You're all given an extra, which you coming from somewhere. It's quite clever, I think, because they will want to win the 4 for him, if possible. But if they come away with a couple or 1 or 3 or whatever, doesn't matter what he wins. But they will. I think it's a smart move. It'll galvanise them and give them the extra impetus.
Yeah. How do you try and ensure then that there isn't a big drop-off? Because that's the danger, isn't it? After such an iconic figure, we saw what happened with Manchester United, with Alex Ferguson. They've still not got back to what it was.
In my opinion on that one, Alex Ferguson left the club with a very ageing squad, exactly. A very ageing team. And he knew, in my opinion, it was time to go. What he did was incredible. And he's thinking, I can't regenerate these. And Jurgen could have done that last year when we had the nightmare. But true to the man that he is, I think he said, I can't leave it now. I've got to get this show back on the road before I do it. And it's only my opinion. I don't know nothing, but with Ferguson, Alex Ferguson, he got out at the right time, you know, and he left the club in a bit of a mess. Thankfully.
I agree. Yeah.
It was like that. Yeah, I had Manchester United recently commentating. I don't know against whom, and I said when he went or when he quit, there was an Asian midfield with Giggs, with Carrick, and Scholes was there. Definitely, that's why they lost maybe the 2011 Champions League final. They were over the top, and they didn't think of rebuilding the midfield or rebuilding maybe the defense. So they struggled even with signings afterwards because all the managers that came in, different philosophies, didn't give them time, obviously. So I think what you said is right. Now the squad has a perfect age, besides, let's say, Virgil van Dijk or Mo Salah. They're a bit older than the others, but the others are absolutely in a perfect age. If you make like 2 shifts, two or three signings further, I don't know, who's the next manager? Maybe another philosophy?
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? That is the big thing, you know. And the owners, they've got to get the right criteria, the right person who can do the adjustments. Because it's not. In years gone by, some of the staff have stayed. Looks like, you know, it's like the 3 Musketeers, all for one for all. We're cutting our ties. We're going. We're leaving it as it is. Because every one of them, not just Jurgen, every one of the staff have done a top job to help us get where we are, and that's for me is a little bit frightening, you know. But you know. Because when Shankly left and Bob Paisley came in, they still had the boot room. They still had the boot room. The nucleus of people knew.
You had that continuity.
They had the books from years gone by and when it went wrong and when it went right and all that. So that is probably the scariest part. But the owners know that and they've got to find the right man to fit.
Yeah, it's a very, very difficult situation for all the clubs. I mean, we saw it with Borussia Dortmund when Jurgen Klopp left. I think it's the 7th coach now we have. So it's not easy, really. 6 or 7 at least. Yeah. So it's not easy really to find the right replacement. But now they have time. How do you say carousel? How do you say it in English? It's running. A lot of movement now in the summer. So I pray for Liverpool that they find the right decision there.
Yeah. And Karl, Klopp said that he's going to take some time to recharge. He made a comment about not ever taking on another English club, but not really managing anytime soon anyway. And then let's see what happens. Do you think it's his destiny to become the national team coach for Germany and bring the Germans back to where we ought to be?
He didn't say it so far. So I don't know. I mean, I'm quite sure that he takes his time now. When he quit here, he will take at least a year to recover and to think about of his whole career, what he has. And then maybe he's recharged, say it like this. And definitely, for sure, it depends a little bit on the performances of the German national team in the Euros. If this goes very, very good, then I cannot see that there will be a change then with Nagelsmann. But if it doesn't go, then definitely he will be the first in the row.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're an ambassador at Borussia Dortmund now. From your point of view, how is Jurgen Klopp regarded at Borussia Dortmund these days? I mean, obviously Dortmund supporters still talk about him, but
they still love him. Yeah. He is an iconic coach. He was the best ever in the whole history of Borussia Dortmund. So there's nothing to say something from the fans. I think they still love him.
So something though when you think about Mainz as well, you know, because wherever he's gone, he's left this aura behind him, and it shows you what a special man he is.
Just when you look at him, like his outward appearance, when you look at when he left Mainz versus Dortmund, there's all these reels on social media now. It's quite significant how he changed as well. I think it goes back to the intensity as well, how it takes its toll as well to a degree. I mean, he still looks great, don't get me wrong, but it's a very different man than he was when he left Mainz. Kalle, what do we have to prepare ourselves for? Last game of the season, hopefully lifting the trophy, the Europa League final after, right?
Yeah,
strictly speaking, his last game. But what do we have to prepare ourselves for in terms of emotion, looking back at his Dortmund farewell?
You have to watch the videos from his time when he left Dortmund. This was incredible, emotional, and I think we won't see less than this one.
Yeah.
So
He's in a very
tissues.
emotional, a lot of tissues, definitely.
What do you think it is about Jurgen that he connects with people so much?
I have no idea. He has a secret I cannot figure out. But if you met him, you say, okay, he's we call it Menschenfänger in Germany. I don't know in English.
Charismatic.
Yeah, he catches the people. He takes
can
them on the
catch
journey.
people. You know, on the beginning, everybody was a little bit strange because he was always like, doing with the team from the other side, and everybody was. Now everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, he has some. He knows how to get people together.
So that's a good shout, that. That's a good shout, because not very managers went onto the pitch before Jurgen, did they? That's a good shout. And even with the other ones, you wouldn't bother with
We took the elbows before games. No,
That's a
and
good
even
shout,
after
that,
games.
mate. That's a good shout, that.
To be fair, you had Reza Rudok in your team.
Okay.
So all bets are off with him, I guess.
Absolutely. Reza was a legend.
I guess the only thing that Klopp tried to implement at Liverpool early days, which didn't work, was when the players all go in front of the Kop to all hold arms and wave.
Yeah.
Remember, they played 2-2 against West Brom.
West Brom,
and
last
he went
minute,
there
Origi goal.
and tried to do it, and everybody was like, "What is this all about?" So he just stuck with this.
But that was
Fist
new
in
to
it.
Liverpool, because we weren't used to that, like celebrating drawing with West Brom. Jesus Christ. But, you know what I mean? But it had an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went on a run there
Yeah,
at Anfield, and we didn't get beat. They built, they built the bastion up, as Shankly would say, and he got the field back for Anfield, and we went on a long unbeaten. So whilst at the time we were all questioning, going, "Where's this fella from?" He had the last laugh.
Yeah. It was about getting people to buy into it, wasn't it? Because if you remember rightly, he had that game against Crystal Palace at home really early on in his reign, when he turned around and people were leaving when Liverpool were losing with a few minutes to go, and he was like, "Where are you going? Like, we need you."
Yeah.
And that was his. So when the fans stuck by them and they scored that late goal against West Brom, that was his way of saying, "Look, if you're all in it, if we can do something special together." And
it's clever, isn't it?
he's done that, hasn't he? I mean, Aldo, what in terms of remembering him, what would you like to see the club do? Are we talking a Shankly-like statue? What do you think?
I'm not very artistic in many ways, but the Klopp Cup.
Yeah,
The Klopp Cup.
No, I'm just it just rhymes so nice, doesn't it? Look, whatever they do, I'm sure that they listen to like the spirits of Shankly and the supporters alike, and you have to buy into it all. What would be the best thing? It's got to be a statue, hasn't it? Somewhere, wherever it is around. You look at the Shankly statue. To me, I love that, because I remember him. I was down in town, by the mayor hall when he done the speech, and when you still see it, it brings back memories of me seeing him and watching him up there doing that. So catching Jurgen in a certain manner.
Which pose did you go for? Fist bumps, yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably talking shite about it. I don't know. But something good. Someone will come up with a better idea than what I have. But I think probably a statue, wouldn't it?
That would be nice. Yeah.
Well, I think it's time to talk a bit about the legacy as well before we actually speak about you, Kalle. I mean, this podcast was to go back into time with you, your achievements, and at Liverpool. But Klopp, obviously, the news has hit us all very, very hard. Like, how would you sum up what he has achieved at Liverpool in his time at Liverpool, and what will his legacy be from your point of view?
I mean, he won nearly all the titles you have to win. Champions League was a long time ago. We didn't win with Liverpool, and even the league. The league, 30 years.
Yeah.
Was it 30 years?
Yeah.
In between.
Yeah.
So
Ridiculous.
this will remember definitely, maybe more than the Champions League, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because everybody was waiting such a long time for this
It's
championship.
mad, because before the last time we won the league, 91. Before we were on 18 leagues, like all the rest were like way behind. The ones who had eras like United and Arsenal and Chelsea, they were well out of it. And for Liverpool to go that amount of years, we slipped up a couple of times here, there, and everywhere. But it was honestly, it was ridiculous, and it was just when you want to get the saying the monkey off the back. That's what Jurgen did, and only for Manchester City manipulating in the way they have.
Yeah.
We'd have been talking even more greatness here.
Right, exactly.
And what we really do. When you get 95, 96 points coming second in the league,
it's
and Man City
ridiculous.
have been brilliant. But that shows you actually on top of what he won, what the man's done.
Yeah.
Sorry, I put it in.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. This will definitely.
It was interesting because I talked to Didi Hamann last Saturday when the news came out, and he said, of course, he did a great job. He transformed the club, obviously, because you know very well where Liverpool has been 2015. He brought them back from the dead, let's say.
Yeah.
But he said, on the other hand, something that I thought about. He might be right, because in that time when Klopp was manager, he took 6 titles. Was it? Is it 6 now? I think
in
it's
total.
In
Well,
total,
Champions League, Premier League,
FA,
Domestic Cup double, Super Cup, and Club World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said like Man United did like 5 titles in the same way, but in the same period. But look how awful they've been all the 8 years looking back. And I thought, yeah, he's right. But of course, we came short like twice, maybe 1 point just for the title. In the end, of course, Champions League and title. It is heavier than winning a League Cup. It could have been more titles, definitely, in the end. But what he's done for the club, this is a big legacy. Where he put the club after the
even
years.
the way they play football.
Of course, you judge in football about the titles, but he's been to 4 European finals. He brought us back to European royalty again. What in Liverpool they talk
And
about.
Tony, we still got 4 trophies to come.
Yeah. It's still
we're
still
going to
not
have 10
over.
at
It's
the
still
end.
not
So
over.
then-
Definitely.
Yeah.
Nice thought.
Put the
And
Manx in
the
place.
Europa League
No
is
pressure.
the title he's been missing in his coaching career.
Very true.
That'd be the one just before
The
we
World
go on.
Cup.
The thoughts about like the Europa Cup. Look, we all want to be in the Champions League, because the Champions League is great. We've won it 6 times and we know it's the best and all that. But the finals in Dublin,
Oh yeah,
and
right.
it would be, if we got there, it would be Jurgen's last game. And now I can see it. If that was to happen, they'd have pedals at Liverpool Dock. They'd be going on the pedals on the boats. They'd be like the Vikings on the boats and everything. They'd all be going over there on the boat. They won't be able to get a plane or one of the ships or whatever. They'll be going over there from every direction.
Can't be a better platform.
Perfect scenario in a final against Bayer Leverkusen, his successor maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
You never know.
Oh,
Things
that's
happen.
a good chance.
Things happen, don't they?
So what about Xabi Alonso then? Do you think? What do you make of that? What do you make of the job he's doing at
A lot of
Leverkusen?
speculation here,
Yeah.
but Xabi is doing an incredible job
Amazing,
here
yeah.
in Germany in the moment. I mean, I never saw Leverkusen playing like they play in the moment. This is a lot of credit to him. Yes, he has the eye, he has the desire, he knows Liverpool. I mean, this could be really, if he is on the market, if he is free, if he is willing to come over, maybe after this. So this would be not a bad choice.
How would you describe the way he's got them playing? What do you think? Do you think it would be a good fit for Liverpool, the way that Leverkusen play?
Absolutely. I mean, he loves the same type of football like Jurgen Klopp loves. I mean, if you see them pressing in the half of the other team, so it's really impressive. So I think he could be definitely one of these coaches that will follow the street what Jurgen opened up. Yeah.
And he could bring this Spanish touch of football,
exactly,
yeah. Holding the ball for a longer period, like waiting for the spaces to open up. Because the football Klopp used to play is like the more direct approach. And we were always talking about heavy metal football. So he is a manager with a different approach and a different style of play, but still can use all the aspects that Jurgen Klopp has implemented in the team.
Yeah, only his second season at Leverkusen.
Yeah.
So is it coming
First
too
full season?
Yeah. Is he coming? Is it coming too soon? Do you think? Like, because obviously the pressure and scrutiny of being Liverpool managers on a different level.
Yeah, that's the point we could talk about. Maybe he's a very young manager, but when do you give him a time? When do you give him a big club? I think that I know because I live in Spain for now 4 months. I know that there have been a lot of speculation taken over Real Madrid. So Real Madrid was eager, obviously, to give him that job or that role, but they extended the contract with Carlo Ancelotti. So Real Madrid is off the market. So why not? Why not?
Well,
I mean, look at De Zerbi. He wasn't a well-known coach, and they gave him the chance at Brighton. He's always also a great candidate to take over with his style of football.
Yeah, I think I have to say, you look at Xabi does tick a lot of boxes. Don't forget Kenny when his job was younger than Xabi. So
he knows the club.
Sometimes if you're good enough, you're young enough. But look, not for us to say, but that's the end of part 1 of Aldo Meets Podcast with myself, John Aldridge, Karl Heinz, Peter, James and Tony. We'll be back in a minute.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me tell you the story of a poor boy. He was sent far away from his home to fight for his king and his country, and also the old folks back home. So they put him in a Highland division, sent him out to a far foreign land.
Right, Karl, let's talk about your career, man. Starting off at Augsburg as a youngster. Very young, yeah. Was it always your dream what's it team to play for as a kid?
Actually, it wasn't my dream footballer. I was much better a skier and much better tennis player in the early years. Yeah. So where I grew up in the mountains in the south of Germany. So this was my main sport. Tennis and skiing.
So was it cold where you was?
Yeah.
The snow.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, nice.
We always in snow. And football was like I played football a little bit like this, and my idols been more Ingemar Stenmark in skiing or Bojan Grisha. So, but it came like this. I don't know. I was scoring a lot of goals in my early when I was
at
young.
What age?
Talking about 12 to 16.
All right.
So, and then my coach, he wrote a letter to, I think, Augsburg and Bayern Munich. They should invite this guy. He scored 50 goals in the second highest league there in the juniors. So, and then I got an invitation. So it came like from nothing. And then I was coming back to, my father, he had a butcher. He was a butcher. Yeah. And he wanted always that I took over this. And I was not interested at all. And then I was coming back from this trial in Augsburg. And I said, Father, I want to go to play football. Then you have to make an Ausbildung.
An apprenticeship.
Do
an apprenticeship first.
Then you can go. So, okay, I said, this was very terrible for me, but I did it.
Did you do
this
it?
Was my,
so you had to do an apprenticeship with your dad?
No. In Augsburg.
Or with the football team?
No, with the butchery.
Oh, yeah.
So you actually did an apprenticeship.
I did it for 2 years. And then I left straight away.
I thought
do you know what? That's so odd. My dad was very similar to your dad because I had chances and I was a toolmaker by trade, making cars for British Rail, the Triumph Stag, these type of cars. And a couple of teams were coming in. He said, "You're not going nowhere till you got your apprenticeship done. You've got that to fall back on." In case it doesn't happen, because they know you can play 1 year, 2 year, but then you might be on your arse. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's clever, that, and that's the same. Mine come in the same way. Is that? It's good. It's good for your dad to do that.
It was a really hard time there actually, and then I played 2 years for the juniors in Augsburg. Played good, and then I had to make the military. And on the beginning, they promised me that I go in the sports company in Germany. Yeah. In Germany, you can go in and do 3 months, and then you go out and play football. And in my case, wasn't like this. I had to do the whole 1.5 years, and really bad one. So I nearly missed everything. I put weight on because I couldn't train. Probably
so you wasn't playing football at that time?
No. I was playing for the first team, Augsburg, but they've been in the third division in this time. So, and then, fortunately, I earned some money, and I was giving the young guys money that they take my shift to look over, and I was going running out and going for training sessions. If not, I definitely would never made it in football.
You are like a proper honorary scout.
Yeah.
Come to Liverpool. That's what the scouts isn't doing.
That really was a hard time there. But then I made it. I scored a couple of goals there for the first team, and then I was going to Berlin.
What's the ratio in your case of scoring with your feet versus with your head? Because you're not the tallest striker in the world, but you earned a nickname, didn't you?
Really, yeah. Actually, that was another sport. I did athletics when I was young and high jumping. So did help me a lot, maybe, to get the right...
12 jump the centre half.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe this was it.
Yeah. That makes sense. No, that
does,
makes every sense, absolutely, yeah. But then also...
But I think it was, how do you say, legally?
50-50.
50-50%.
But yeah. But in our day, heading the ball, it's different now. It's a lot on the floor. But it was really important. And the centre-halves, notoriously, were taller than us. Every centre-half had to be taller in them days, and bigger than us. And some of them were butchers as well, as like you were talking about being butchers. Some of them were like butchers. So it was important to be able to leap, and the timing. If you're doing that again, the timing of the leap to get the flicks and see what's around you is important as well.
Who were the managers, your favorite manager to guide you in your career? Who was the most influential?
I would say Otto Rehagel on the beginning of my career. He was very important for me. I was 21 when he signed me from as a replacement for Rudi Völler in Werder Bremen. So he helped me a lot to grow up, to really to be a better player then. And so I would say he was maybe my best coach in my career. But then I had a couple of good ones. Actually, I had a fantastic person and a really good coach. With Roy Evans here in Liverpool. I loved him, and I took him over later on to Fulham for when I had there like an interims coach for 3 months, and I took him, and he made all the trainings there. So he was fantastic as well.
You had some influential managers as well, like Hitzfeld, but maybe at the peak of your career, it was definitely in the national team. You had for a long time Franz Beckenbauer, who sadly passed away recently. Is there any memories, any special memories, maybe during the tournament?
For Franz?
With Franz.
There have been stories, you could write books there. It's a lot. Franz was an incredible, he was like a little bit like Klopp. You know, he's a person, when he says something to you, even if it's, if you say this is right, you say, okay, this is right. Even if it's completely wrong, because you believe him everything. And, he was really a fantastic coach for the national team in our time. And when we won the World Cup with him, we had a lot of really good stories going on. I cannot even tell it here. But no, he was brilliant. Yeah. But clearly, even Ottmar Hitzfeld, he was a top trainer. I mean, we won the Champions League with him, but this was already on the end, not on the end of my career, but I was already done. So I would always say Otto Rehagel was definitely the most important coach for me in my whole career.
You must have some great memories of World Cup 1990.
Yeah.
Of course, you featured in that famous semi-final win over England as well.
Oh yeah,
scored in the shootout. I mean, how do you look back on that whole line through the tournament?
That was a great story, by the way. I mean, I never hit a penalty before this World Cup. So in my whole career, only when I was young, but never in the professional level. So Beckenbauer, after the game, he was chasing for players. And everybody was, oh no, I can't. Oh, I have something here. Oh, no, I'm not feeling well, and blah, blah, blah. So then he came to me and said, oh, Franz, I never kicked the penalty before. Okay. And then he was going and looking. And then he was going to Jurgen Klopp. I remember all this. And, our defender, Kohler. And I was thinking, fucking hell, you cannot let a defender shooting a penalty. And then I said, okay, Franz, I do it.
Luckily.
Luckily, I shot it. And but to be honest, we've been quite lucky because Peter Shilton was already on his peak, I would say. He was not the quickest.
That's what I was thinking at that time as well.
He scored about 4 penalties against Peter Shilton in his career. He was never good at penalties.
No, he was
the best at penalties. Yeah.
Definitely. He was good, but not on penalties.
Yeah.
So it was quite easy for us to score there.
And then after the World Cup 1990, you moved to Italy, to Lazio. How are you looking back at that time? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, fantastic time. I mean, going there was 24 or 25. And then, coming to, Italy was the Premier League, or Serie A was the Premier League in these days now. So every top player in the world was playing there. We played a lot of times against Maradona and Careca, all these guys. So it was really, one of my nicest move, I would say, ever. And afterwards, I got a nice company from a really nice guy from England, Paul Gascoigne. To play with Ghana.
You met guys like Neil Ruddock. Well, not both at the same time. Good job with that, I tell you what. Great lads.
Ghana was even worse than Ruddock.
What was the craziest thing he did?
Oh,
good blokes. There's 2 good blokes, by the way.
And then obviously you came back to, I think as most people who come to Hotel Anfield know, my boyhood club, to Borussia Dortmund, 1993. And then 95, 96, 97, special years. I mean, I know you had your injury in 95, but apart from that, it was a good time there with Xabi, the famous duo.
Yeah, beautiful times. I mean, if you had the chance to come over once to the stadium in Dortmund. So it's a really special stadium to play, and even the club is special to play. It's like Liverpool. It's the same type of, it's a working city. They're very passionate, the fans. So it was, one of my best moves to go over there.
And then tell us a bit about how it feels to score 2 goals in a Champions League final. I mean, Juventus at the time, it's in Munich. Juventus is favorite, I would have thought. The team was Alessandro Del Piero.
I think we didn't have 1% chance in this time, so everybody was voting for Juventus. Yeah, but we had a really good team. I mean, we had a lot of experienced players from. They all played in Italy, and Matthias Sammer, Giulio Cesar, Kohler, Müller. So everybody was playing in this time there, and we knew all the players from Juventus. So. And in the changing room, we said, okay, nobody expect that we can win this, but we have to take the chance. And so we had some 20 minutes. We have to survive. I mean, they played us all over the places. We didn't have a chance for the first 20 minutes. So they nearly scored twice, I think, on the bar and the crossbar. Yeah. So, but after this, it came from nothing when Paul Lambert crossed his ball in and scored the first and the second. So, and then Juventus was nervous and shocked. And at the end, the result. And it was a fantastic feeling to score in a final and to win a final for sure.
Was that the peak of what the best moment you've had in football?
Yeah. I mean, winning the World Cup was also not so bad. But I wasn't playing in the final. I didn't have the chance.
When you score 2 goals in the final, I know how you feel. What I mean?
From this, it gives you a different experience, because when you watch it from outside in Rome in this time, it's always different than when you can contribute a little bit more on the pitch there.
So how did the move to Liverpool come about in the summer of 97?
Actually, Dortmund after winning the Champions League, then they changed the coach, and Italian guy came in, and he wanted to do completely different things then. And then I realized quite quick that this is not the time to stay with him. And then I got the offer from Liverpool, and I said, okay, I don't have to take or think twice, because Liverpool was always, when I was a young kid and watching football, here in Kenny Dalglish this times, and Johnny and Ian Rush, and so it was not long to think. I said to my wife, "Listen, you should fly over and look for a house. I go there."
So Roy Evans didn't need to convince you much, did he?
No, he didn't have to convince me a lot there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was even if I didn't play a lot in Liverpool, because it was already, I was 32, I think. But I enjoyed it a lot, playing, alongside Mike Lowen and Robbie Fowler. They're both young lads, and we had a fantastic Spice Boys team there in this time. But we didn't win a lot, but was a lot of fun.
It's a team that should have won, isn't it, when you look back?
Exactly, yeah.
Even though there was
even the
teams
quality
there.
of the players.
Oh, geez, when you look
was
back.
really.
That was
McManaman,
if we
Owen,
maybe-
Fowler,
Oh,
Redknapp.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of quality.
So which
in the
Spice
team.
were you then?
Posh Spice, I think. Too
Old
posh
Spice,
for it.
Old
Old
Spice.
Spice.
Oh, that's good. That last one. I've been called that a few times.
Tony, that was a really good one.
What was that period like where you had joint managers? Because it seems hard to believe now that two people would be in charge of Liverpool at the same time. But obviously Gerard Houllier comes in and there's that kind of awkward few months. What was that like as a player?
It was quite strange because even in my career, it never happened before. But I thought it won't last very long.
Yeah.
Because, he wants to make this decision. He wants to make this decision. It's always quite difficult to find the right fit for both. But, we know later on they won the Champions League with Gerrard, and I think he did a great job even here for Liverpool.
Where did you live in Liverpool?
Over
Oh, did you live in
Heswell.
where about? In Heswell?
Heswell,
Oh,
yeah.
Some of the Barnsley was out there.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
Barnsley,
And Steve
exactly.
Nichols,
Yeah.
a few lads
Even
out
Mike
there.
Lowen, he was living a little bit more.
He's
further
Coldy
on.
way out the
Coldy,
back.
exactly,
Yeah.
No, it was very nice there. I loved
nice
it.
to win,
I come
wasn't
from
it?
a countryside, so for me it was brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what about when it came to leaving Liverpool in 99? How did moving on to Fulham come about?
I mean, it was quite clear that it doesn't have a long time for me here in Liverpool. So I got this offer from Fulham, and I said, maybe London was not so bad. So last 2 years in London, it's quite a good idea. And even there, it was the second division. And I really liked it. I mean, it was tough football there. You mentioned it before. I had an incredible experience on I think it was a second game. We had Paul Bracewell.
Yeah.
He was coach in our time.
Yeah.
And he said always, lads, get the fucking ball long in the channel, and Karl, you go behind it. So, I was running there 179 centimeters only against this big center halves in there. So, and one of these guys, he was all over the place with me and hit me from behind. I was lying on the floor and wanted to, like an European, and then on one point, somebody was coming here on my neck, took me out, and I was looking, it was the referee, and they said, Karl, be tough. This is English second. So from there, I was not lying anymore on the floor. Second division football was quite hard, yeah.
Yeah, and
But I liked it a lot.
It was
Physical, yeah.
They got away a little bit more because it wasn't in the public eye. So the referees,
Yeah.
they're a little bit more lenient there now, but they fucking hit you.
Yeah.
Hey,
But you could
he
give,
should have
and
hit the
you
back.
could
He was a butcher. He was a butcher as well.
you received a lot of hits, but you could even take elbows and everything out there.
Oh yeah.
And obviously you had the spell as interim coach at Fulham. Did you? What made you decide not to pursue a career in management? Did you just have a taste of it and decide
Actually,
it
I
wasn't
had
for
the
you?
taste for 3 months. That was enough.
That was enough.
No, I didn't like it. I never be prepared to be a coach there. And there was a funny story as well when I said it before. When our chairman, exactly, Al-Fayed, when he was the owner of Fulham, and but he didn't have a clue about football. So at one stage they sucked Bracewell, and they asked me, "Can you do this for 3 months?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, there's no problem. I can do this." And on the next day, they fly in with a helicopter into the training ground, and we had to stop and had to go up in the changing rooms, and then they talked about, okay, so we cannot play like this anymore. We had to sack our coach, and we have a new coach. And at the end of the day, he didn't even know our players. So I was sitting in this angle, and then he said, "Guys, and I tell you what, our new coach is Karl Heinz Riedle," and I was sitting over here. the whole, everybody, we've been laughing there. And then when he went off, I said, "Okay, guys, I cannot coach you because we've been, out in pubs and, so it was quite difficult." And then when I asked Roy Evans to come over and coach for me, because I couldn't do it by myself.
Wow.
That's similar to what happened to me in many ways with Tranmere, that sort of introduction into the game.
Ah, we had a game.
Because but it's hard because you're managing your mates. When I took over Tranmere, they're all my best mates, and I've been out on the lash with them, and we're at a party for 5 years or whatever. And then all of a sudden, we've spoken about it before on the show, haven't we? It's a difficult position to be in. Yeah, it really is. Anyway, this is Aldo Podcast, the 6th one.
It is.
I mean, it's nearly over now. With thank God, talking some shite here. James Pearce, Tony, Karl Heinz, and Peter Schreevershausen. Schreevershausen.
Let me tell you the story of a poor boy. He was sent far away from his home to fight for his king and his country, and also the old folks back home. So they put him in a Highland division, sent him out to a far foreign land.
Welcome back. Over to you, Tony.
Oh, to me?
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking about his glancing career. I mean, he has had a great career, Kalle. But what do you do these days now? You're an ambassador for Borussia Dortmund as well. Where you based? What you do? How does your life look like?
I'm 58 now. I'm taking it a little bit easier. No, actually, I was traveling a lot for Dortmund for the last 6-7 years to Asia, to America. So we did a lot of do a lot of stuff for fans overseas, say it like this, to get more and more awareness even for Borussia Dortmund. I mean, it's not easy because the Premier League is 20 years in front of us. So every time you come there with Dortmund or with Bayern, so it's not an easy way. But I liked it. So I have my own business around in Italy and in Germany.
Okay. Yeah,
so
that?
it's quite big. We are in the hotel business as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, very
Yeah,
good.
and in Italy, in the how to say it, Immobilien sector,
Property sector.
property sector. Yeah. So, but
And you got a son who plays football as well.
Alessandro. He played football. Yeah. Now he's coaching under 19
Oh, good.
in
What
Borussia
age
Mönchengladbach. He's 31 now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, quite an old
They
fella.
starting early, isn't it, for the coaches?
Yeah, he started early, earlier than me.
The managers are getting younger and younger.
Yeah, exactly.
Nagelsmann is 33,
Yeah, exactly.
34.
No, he's really keen to make a career in management. I never believed it, but maybe he can do it. I don't know.
And who of the 97 squad are you still in touch with in Dortmund? And who of the Liverpool squad you played with are you still in touch with?
We see each other a couple of times. Even with the guys from Liverpool, we had in Hong Kong, we had a legend game 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was before COVID. So sometimes I see Robbie or Maka in some events. Mike Lone I saw on the telly. I did sometimes something for RTL, and he was commentating for BT Sport.
BT Sport.
Exactly. So David James, I saw a lot of times, Jemo. And even from the '97 team from Dortmund, we see each other quite often. Not so often, but I mean, you know, you have some golf tournaments where we met, or even the stadium. But I would say with Andi Möller and Julio Cesar the last couple of years, and Matthias Sommer, that would be the guys I met most in the last years.
And as a little bit of a Dortmund geek, that I still am feeling a bit like a 6-year-old again. How about Stefan Chapuisat?
Xabi was a great player. You know him as a player, and I mean, he's quite not a shy guy, but he's quiet, and he lives his life in Switzerland. I think he's involved a little bit in the Young Boys Bern, so he's I don't know in scouting or in coaching, but you don't see him a lot in Dortmund. I didn't see him for years now.
What I want to know, it's a strikers thing. This, I'm looking now that obviously Mo's out for a couple of weeks or what, and the young Ben Doak's not there. And I've been looking away, and we've scored goals. You know, we should have scored more at Fulham the other week, in the middle of last week. Where do you see, out of our current strikers, the one who can play on the right-hand side when Mo's not there?
I mean, you have so many good strikers there up front. They can.
But most of them,
and Mo Salah
started on the left-hand side because Mo's never injured. But because he's not there for the first time, and you're like me, we're playing down the middle, so you're looking for someone to
cross the ball,
you know, for give a service, you know, with our heading ability, whatever. And it's what would you put? What 3 strikers would you play first of all, and who would you play on the right-hand side?
I don't know, Diaz, when he came on, I liked him all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say...
On the right, instead of the left, the right.
Jota can play on the right as well.
Jota.
Do you think? This is a conversation. They can, but predominantly because they played on the left. He's always played them on the left or down the middle. Because Mo's always just played there and Doak's played there. And I find this fascinating and interesting. I thought, like, Diaz can play on the right because he's a winger.
Yeah.
So you can swap wings and whatever. Yeah. But he's not done it for me when he's gone on the right hand side for some reason. And I think Gapco has played there for Holland a couple of times, I think. Now I can't see Nunez there, and I can't see
Nunez not on the side now.
So what 3 would you go with?
As I said, I would say Jota. Mm-hmm. I like him a lot as a player. He has an incredible finish.
Yeah.
And Nunez and Diaz.
Yeah. That's a shame.
The other thing is what fascinates me about Jurgen Klopp as well. He changes formations now, the recent weeks, inside the match. He starts maybe with Jota on the left, or he starts Nunez on the left, brings Jota on through the middle, and during the match he changes them so all 3 can change positions, which is very difficult to see out for the opponent, and that what makes them really strong.
I think that's since Mo
in times when Mo is not here.
And
in my personal view is that Jota is a very, very influential player. We saw him when he came on after the injury. He had such a straight impact by assisting goals or going through the channel. So I like Jota a lot.
He's out of all the forwards, he's the most gifted finisher. You have to say that, you know. It's just the way we were in our days. The others got different traits to them, I think. Some players now don't play as like strikers. They come off, like Gakpo comes off and he'll delve in there and dwell in there and all. We just wanted to get in the box and get in the end of things, didn't we, really?
He has a lot of really good solutions there up front, in the midfield, up front. So,
what do you both, as ex-attackers, make of the form of David Nunez?
Yeah, I like him. He can be frustrating sometimes, but you know he's still relatively young. I think as strikers go, and there's a lot more to come from him. He's still a bit raw, but. I've asked players and ex-players, out of all our strikers, who would you not want to play against? And they'll go Nunez. He's a nightmare. Like,
physical, very strong.
Physical gets in. Like, if you ever watched us play up front, If any ball up in the air, we challenge for it. We wouldn't go like that, duck your head or whatever. And Nunez does that. Nunez does that. And that's what they don't like. Runs behind. They don't like you running behind. Some player, when they come off, oh yeah, that'll do me. Go on. Yeah, whatever. But anyone going that way, or up that way, they don't like it. So I do like
You're still young, and there will come a lot of.
Yeah, I think so.
Who did you have the best understanding with as a strike partnership?
In my career, it was Liverpool? No, in my career.
In your career.
I would say Stefan Chapuisat, we mentioned it before. He was definitely, for me, maybe the best player. Or even Beppe Signori and Ruben Sosa in Lazio Rome. Beppe Signori, he was a fantastic player.
He's a good
So I love to play with both of them, Ruben Sosa and
Signori played on the left, didn't he?
Yeah, we played with two strikers. So
Yeah,
me and myself and him.
Signori left foot and Chapuisat
Yeah,
left foot as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Ruben
And
Sosa
Ruben
left
Sosa
foot.
as well,
Yeah, it was good because I was right-footed. So
When you stopped playing, did you find that it left a big gap in your life? Or was it quite...
no, actually, I filled it with a lot of sport. I said it before, and I took a bit care of my family after this because when you're a player, you always 200 days a year you're traveling and you're not there, and I didn't have a lot of time for my kids when I was playing in this time. So I was quite happy then to spend a lot of time with family and doing my sports, what I couldn't do for a long time.
And did you feel satisfied with what you'd achieved in football? Was there any regrets or anything you wish
No,
you
I
had
have no regrets at all. I think I was achieving more than I was ever dreaming or expecting. So from this, I would say I'm more than happy.
And John has brought a very special piece of memorabilia.
Yes,
but
my friend.
Yes, the man who pinched your spot.
Exactly.
I didn't know that till you told me before. I would never have brought this. Obviously, with it being that fantastic German shirt, and I played. The story behind this shirt is we played Republic of Ireland. We played Germany away. I forget where it was. It was only a small little ground, and it was 94 before the World Cups. And Jack, I was sub, and the lads done brilliant. First out, we beat Germany away 2-0. Unbelievable, away 2-0, Ireland, Republic of Ireland. And I was sub, and I didn't even get 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So I'm walking off the pitch. I'm made up we won, but I'm good. And Jack Charles didn't put me on. So next minute, this player comes up to me, says, "You must be a Liverpool fan." He said, "Could you swap shirts?" I went, "Yeah, of course." So give me that. So he gave me the shirt, and I didn't know who he was. He was a youngish lad. So I get in the dressing room, and the lads are all jumping up and down and saying, "Well done, lad." And I got the shirt, and I went, Jack. And Jack looked over me, "What do you want, all low?" I said, "That's what I think you are," and I'm putting me on. So that's the story behind it. But I brought in respect of Karl Heinz today, So.
What's your best bit of memorabilia that you got from a player during your career? Did you swap shirts? What's your favorite souvenir?
I have 2 shirts from Diego Maradona. This was
that.
definitely the best swap I ever did. And Marco van Basten, when he played for Milan.
Yeah.
So, but I would always say
so you were always
the Maradona
first,
shirt was.
You got 2?
Yeah, I had 2.
One wasn't enough.
No, the first was Lazio and one with Werder Bremen.
Oh, yeah.
I changed that.
That's very good, that.
And now the famous part at the end, John.
Oh, yeah, we've got a little quiz.
Go for it.
God, no,
Only a little.
It's
only
rubbish.
No, it's easy. It's about your career with Liverpool. James is going to do it's James's quiz.
My God.
And it's 6 questions, because Liverpool's won the European Cup 6 times. Twice as many more than any other English club. Their nearest one, which is someone down the road there. So it's just a bit of fun, mate. There's no pressure. Who's winning that, by the way? Didn't someone get 5?
I think, Aga got 5 out of 6, yeah. Daniel Aga, yeah.
But Steve Nicol only got a couple. He was pissed. He
6
had
out of
about
6.
5 pints.
Easily. And he had another 10 later at your local.
So, number 1, against which club did you make your Liverpool debut?
Actually, it was in Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, correct.
You know why? That's a good. I think I was going for a penalty, and I smashed myself, like in a European style on the floor. And then Inzi was Inzi or Maka was taking me and said, Karl, don't do it here. In England. My own player. No, they said, why? I said, no, we don't do this. We don't cheat in England. And from this time, I never did it before anymore.
And you scored your first goal for Liverpool later that same month.
Oh.
Away to which Premier League team?
Leeds? No.
Leeds,
Yeah.
correct.
All right.
2 out of 2.
Yeah.
Still works. Yes.
Okay.
That's right. 2 out of 2.
2 so far.
Number 3, you were one of 4 signings that Liverpool made that summer in 1997. Who was the most expensive? He cost £4.2 million.
That wasn't me. Oh, no, I was.
Can we give him a hint?
It was from he signed from Inter Milan.
Yeah, that was Inzi.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I think that gave it away a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
No. I said it wasn't me.
It was.
I said it wasn't me.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about, Inzi was it, yeah.
During your first season at Liverpool, who top scored for the club with 23 goals?
Robbie Fowler?
Michael Owen.
Was it Michael? Okay.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Number
That
5.
was really bad. Sorry?
Against who did you score your final Liverpool goals in September 1999?
No idea.
You scored.
The last-
You scored
the
2
last
that
game.
night.
Scored 2. You can remember when he scored 2.
He scored 2.
In the League Cup, it was.
Well, I scored 2 against them as well in the
Was
against
it?
the FA Cup for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Fast schwarz und gelb.
Tottenham was nicht. Nee. Ach, was für Fulham oder was?
Nee, schwarz
Ja.
und gelb.
I think we count that as a didn't.
Okay.
Didn't
Hull,
work.
Hull
It didn't
City.
work.
Hull City.
Hull City. Mein Gott.
Do you remember them now?
No.
No one does. Nobody
A
knows.
blackout there.
Hull City is like the Bielefeld of England. Nobody
No,
really
I
knows
don't
where it
remember.
is.
That was because this is number 6. That was also your last game for the club against Hull. The same night, a Swiss defender made his debut for Liverpool. Who was that?
Sure.
Correct.
Stefan Osho.
Correct.
Good lad,
not
Stefan.
bad.
4 out of 6.
God, yeah,
Not
boys.
bad.
uh,
Not bad.
Very hard questions here.
I done all right. 4 out of
4 out of 6 is
Very
solid.
respectable.
Yeah.
Top 3 so far.
Okay.
Top 3.
But,
Okay.
thanks, Karl Heinz Riedle. It's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Pleasure, pal.
Same to me.
Pleasure.
Thanks for coming, Karl.
Pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, boys.